So we all know one of the best ways to improve your singing is to record your voice. Today, I'm going to share with you one of the best tools that I've found that has really helped my students when it comes to improving their voice. And I'm also going to share with you 5 key features that we use in our lessons to help see better results. Now, real quick, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ivan. I'm a voice teacher who works with students from all around the world over Zoom. And really on this channel, my goal is to make learning how to sing as simple and as easy as possible. So if that is up your lane, consider subscribing wherever you're joining me from. If you're interested in improving your voice, I've got links down in the description below on how you can work with me or get in contact. I've got some private lessons and also some self-study programs that you can work through at a step 1, step 2, step 3 manner. If you have any questions or if you want to inspire our next episode, just let me know down in the comments below. I'm always looking for new video ideas. Anyway, let's dive in. The tool that we're talking about today is BandLab. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with this, BandLab is something called a DAW, which is a digital audio workstation, basically where you can produce and where you can make music. Now, for the purposes of today, we're going to be focusing more on the features that are relevant to recording vocals, but this is a pretty full suite tool if you're interested in making your own music as well. I do use Logic myself, but I love using this with my students because number one, it's free. It's free to use. It's browser based. So, whether you're using Windows or maybe if you're on a Mac, you can use this, right? And the third one is it's just very simple and easy to get started with because oftentimes learning a whole new DAW can feel quite daunting. Now let's dive into how I use this tool to help my students get better with their singing. And I'll share with you the 5 key features that we use. Now the first key feature here is the splitter tool. And so after you've created an account, basically go to Google and I want you to search BandLab Splitter and you should land onto a page very similar to this. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to upload a song that we're looking to learn. Now, for copyright purposes, I'm going to be choosing one of my original releases and I'm going to be uploading a song called Two Sides, which is one of my latest originals. Now, once you've uploaded, you'll see that it will ask you to split into 2 tracks or 4 tracks. You can split up into the vocals, the drums, the bass, and others. If you're interested in producing, you can go for the 4 tracks. Personally, I like to go for the 2 tracks because it will just split it into the vocals and the instrumental, which is really handy. So we just hit split and then we just wait for it to do its magic. Okay, so now that it's uploaded, we're just going to click open it in Studio and we'll open as audio. Now that we're in the studio environment, first thing real quick is I'm actually going to turn it down. Now, if you've got a MP3, commercial MP3, they're going to be really loud. So I'm going to bring it down to -18 first, just because they're usually mastered. So let's bring it down to -18. Now, as you can see here, the splitter tool has separated the vocals and it's separated out the instrumental. Now, what this means is we can basically just hear the vocals, or if we wanted to, we can just hear the instrumentals as well. And this becomes really handy when it comes to practicing. And this brings me to our next feature and my next point, which is how do we actually even start to use this tool to practice? And so when it comes to learning a new song, there's a lot of, things happening. There's the lyrics, there's the melody, there's the timing, there's all these things you have to kind of keep in mind. And often there's a lot of details, a lot of nuances that you need to learn. And so one really handy feature is cycling and looping. And this is the third feature that I'd love for you all to get familiar with. And basically you do this, right? And so if I click and drag on this timeline and I just highlight a specific section, what happens is if I add a new track and I hit record, it basically just loops around. And what's really cool here also is all the takes that you've done, you can actually go back and listen to them all. So this is a really neat feature when you're trying to study the song and you're really trying to learn the phrasing of that part. Now, the next feature I want to talk about next is what happens if the song is too high or too low. And I'm sure you've all experienced this, right? You're singing a song, you're like, damn, I can't hit some of these notes, or it's actually a bit too low for me. BandLab has also got this sorted, and this is really cool because all we have to do, if you click up here on the key signature and it says G flat major for the song, you can basically adjust the key of the song just like that as well. So basically, the more you click towards the left, the lower the key, the more you click towards the right, the higher the key. So for example, say if I just bring it down 1 semitone, or I should bring it down 2 so you can hear more of a difference. Click adjust. You'll hear the song now sounds a bit like this. Now, just for reference, this was the original key. This was F sharp or G flat. Pretty neat. And let's say if we go up a bit higher, let's go up to the A, and we can hear myself turn to a chipmunk. This is how it sounds like. And so this is really handy. You can easily change the key of a song so it better suits your current range at the moment. Now, one thing that can happen sometimes when we're trying to change the key of a song is if you're in the key of C, it's hard to go anywhere lower because it's already on the left. And if you're in the key of B, you can't really go anywhere higher. So one thing you can do to get around this is you just double click into the track and you can use this pitch shift tool, right? You can go down or you can go up, right? And then you just repeat it with the instrumental. Now, one other really cool feature that I personally like, now let me bring this back down to original key, is when we're trying to study the details of a track, right? Sometimes it's too quick, right? There's just so much stuff happening. Now, BandApp has also made this really, really easy by allowing us to change the tempo, right? So right now the song's at 158 BPM. But if I slow it down, let's say slow it down to 148 BPM, all of a sudden, it allows us to, slow things down, allows us to hear the details. And often when I'm getting my students to do these takes, we'll often slow it down so they can get all the details in first before we speed it back up to the original. And you can also mix and match it with some of the features I talked about earlier. Say, for example, what if I soloed the vocals? Now you can hear just the vocals at a slower pace. Could have sworn in my mind it'd be one day. You try to fool myself, you had a runway. Pretty neat. Ooh, just one last thing. Make sure to hit save. I don't know how many times, with my students, we forgot to hit save and we had to redo everything. So make sure to hit save at the end of your sessions. Anyway, I hope this tool is going to be as useful for you as it is for me and my clients. If you enjoyed this episode, if you found value out of this, please leave a like, share this with a friend or family. If you're listening from the podcast, leaving a 5-star really means the world to me. If you're interested in improving your voice with less of the headaches, I've got some links once again down in the description on how you can work with me privately, or also some self-study programs you can work through in a step 1, step 2, step 3 manner. Apart from that, my name is Ivan. I'm your voice teacher. I'll see you every single Thursday or Friday for these weekly tutorials. Take care.